Hello, my children, Sam, Joy, and Moses. Today, I want to talk about siblings relationship, so brothers and sisters. So I have two sons and one daughter. But I am in my family. I have two brothers and two sisters. So I had experienced such a relationship among siblings. So when you live in a family, in one family, usually people want to be treated as king or queen or princess or prince. But if you have siblings, brother or sister, then you can't enjoy such the position, such a status. And that's why the conflicts among siblings begin. And I know that even now you have such conflicts, especially between Moses and Sam. You know, Sam is in 10th grade, so sophomore in high school. It means that he is in a puberty period and he wants to become independent and treated as an independent person. Outwardly, he is the highest, the tallest son in our family, 180 centimeters. But inwardly, he was the youngest. He is the youngest. It means that he had the few experience, fewer than the others. So Moses, if you had already experienced such period, and I know that you had hard times. So I ask you to understand your brother, even though he acts selfishly or independently, rudely, impolitely. But you need to know that he is in such a time. And I think that it is the naturally as a person, he is the passing through such period to be an adult. So there would be so many trials and errors. Sometimes he is rude to you or selfish to you, but I know that you suffer a lot because of him. But I ask you to understand the situation. But if you want to say something, speak directly to him. It is better. If you just keep quiet, he doesn't know that you are angry or he did bad things to you. So I think that when there is a free time, then you'd better to talk with him about your complaints. So I am second. So my 4-year older sister was the first daughter of my family, and I was the second. And as I mentioned before, that I had no memory about my young little ages, and they told me that my father went out to seek for a job and my mother alone fed me. And my aunt's daughters, they said, they would say when I met her, when I grow up, they always they say that, I carried you in my bag, don't you know? I didn't know. But anyway, in Paju area, they did. And during school days, when I entered their elementary school, perhaps it might be in 1974 or 5, I don't remember, but those days. I lived with my sister, the older sister, and then 1 or 2 years later, my younger brother came and joined to study, and finally my youngest, the younger sister, she is the last person in my family, and she also joined to the family. Since we lived in one small cottage, only one room, and divided, there is a kitchen, but it is very old, ancient kind of style kitchen. So there was a very harsh competitions among us. Since we have no food, I remember that with one egg, we have to eat five persons have to eat one egg. Do you know how we did? When I cooked, I pour out salt there to make it salty. So if it is salty, five persons could eat one egg with rice. And yeah, I was happy, even though it was not many, but I could eat egg. Yeah. And there was no electricity, and I think my grandfather raised some hens, and there were eggs sometimes. Not much. I just when I become adult, I thought that my grandfather was always busy to eat egg, but we always try to eat one egg to divide 5, but not fairly, but according to the ages and according to the desires. So my younger brother and sister always had to suffer. I think that I'm sorry. I feel sorry to you, my brother and sister, that I might exploit. I had eat more portion of egg. I don't remember, but sometimes when they talk about me, I don't remember anything, but they know everything, especially about bad things. So bad things, memory of bad things go further. And I told you that I had stolen 51 or 101. It's about 10 cent, 1 cent, or 55 cent or 10 cent from my older sister, because I liked ramen. One ramen was the cost of 101, 10 cent. So sometimes I remember that I stole 101 from her. So such was the relationship with my siblings. And I liked sports, but there was no balls, or there was no such kind of soccer ball or gloves for baseball. I liked baseball very much, but uh, in an elementary school, I usually played together, hang out together with village friends in a mountain. It's a forest area. There is open space, and it was quite harsh conditions. But anyway, we played soccer there. And baseball thing, we played in a small square, the area, very small. But anyway, we played together. And I made glove from plastic. It's a bag. I could make it. And with this, I played it with my younger brothers. So especially in the middle school area, I usually played with them. And my memory was good. I played and enjoyed, made catch balls, and sometimes hit a ball, but we have no bat. But with a fist, we did. But in a holidays like Chuseok or Seollal, when we met together, when they talk about me, they suffered a lot, you know. They didn't want to. Many times they didn't want to play with me, but since I was strong and I forced him to do, they played with me. Interesting, fun. I'm very sorry, my brother, and I have two brothers. And also, I once played volleyball. The Baeksan Middle School and High School at that time, founded one volleyball team. It was a very small village. It's a Myeon size the villages, and it was not big, not much money to keep such a team, but many people donated rices and the vegetables or side dishes, and when it was a peak time, our team became a national champion in high school. What it was, really. And so many students played volleyball. I like it very much, so I also played volleyball. But at home, I also, in my free time, played with my younger brothers. But one day, it was not volleyball, it was a kind of plastic ball. But I smashed it and spiked the ball, and my younger brother was hit by the ball in a moment, and he was shocked. He was I was so astonished. Oh, what happened with him? And almost he lost his consciousness. And yeah, that was. But I don't remember why was it so hard, and he was almost the lose conscious. I don't know, but it was. And another happening occasion I had, and also I had a memory. It was a bicycle, the bicycle issue. I entered the middle school, and my older sister became a high school student. And my parents bought my sister a bicycle because she needs to save time. So we went to school about 30 minutes on foot. But if you ride a bicycle, 10 minutes would be enough to go to school. So my parents bought a bicycle for her, but not me. I also wanted to ride a bicycle. I learned by myself with a huge bicycle. It was very heavy. I don't know whose one, but anyway, there were in the village there was a bicycle, and I myself alone, as almost the other friends, they also learned by themselves, alone. Nobody hold back of the bicycle, but just run with one leg on the pedal and one leg on the ground, run. And several times many times we fell down, and then finally we learned. So I learned to ride a bicycle, but I have no bicycle. So one day, perhaps I might ask my mother to buy a bicycle, but I don't know exactly what she said, but I cannot remember, but she said something negatively. And I became angry, and I kicked the bicycle, my sister's, and there was a chain, and chain related parts were broken. You know, it was. That is the siblings the relationship. If you think you are unfair, you might become angry. But you need to control yourself. But when you are young, it is very hard. But when you become adult, you have to control your emotions and thoughts. Need to have a self-control. And I think that my children, you all have already grown up. The youngest one is the 10th grader, Sam. If you grow up a little bit later, then you also can control yourself. So self-control is very important in relationship, in keeping the relationship among siblings. And when I grew up and entered college, I have a little communications and relationship with my brothers and sisters, my siblings. I came to Korea University in Seoul, and began to live in Seoul. And usually national holidays, Chuseok or Seollal, I return home, met my brothers and sisters, and came back. Yeah, but when I was a junior in college, I decided to study the high-ranking officers examination. It's a 고시, 행정고시. Since I could apply in my 4th grade, the senior year, So I decided to prepare for the examination from the third year, junior year, and I came home in a small village and in Buanup. So my parents bought a house. I think there were 2 rooms and 1 kitchen. So I came back home and began to study at home. And when I heard from my brothers and sister, they said that it was not nice because you always demanded us to study together, even though we want to play. So I just studied whole summer or whole winter during vacation times. And then, actually in 1988, in Summer Olympics in Seoul, the direction of my life was changed. I quit to get to be a public officer. I want to go outside to the foreign countries. Because in Summer Olympics, I met so many foreigners. It was an amazing experience. Even though I could not speak English very well, but it changed my life. I had a kind of view about the big world, and after meeting so many foreigners in Seoul, I changed my life. And after finishing my army service, I went to Russia. Anyway, and after I married, the relationship with my siblings quite changed. So we grow up. We are growing up. So nowadays, we had quite close relationship among my brothers and sisters. And also I want to say one thing about the relationship among siblings and a relationship, it's a spiritual relationship among siblings. As you know, as I said before, I began to study the Bible in my first year of college in 1985, and I began to believe in Jesus. I accepted him as my Savior, and I was the first Christian in my family. My parents, no. My grandparents, no. There was nobody among my family line Christian. I became the first Christian in my family. And when I met with my siblings in holidays, I usually talked about Jesus. And later, the younger brother and the youngest brother, my youngest brother, he selected to enter into the theological college in Jeonju. It's a 한일 장신대. It's a Presbyterian seminary and undergraduate course. He entered into the seminary. I was surprised. I didn't know about it at first. I didn't say about his future before he chose his college major. and he chose it. And it means that he will become a pastor in Protestant Christianity. So he finally became a pastor, and he served in churches, in Presbyterian churches, and went to Canada. And nowadays he doesn't serve, and he has his own way. But anyway, he is a Christian. And another thing is the youngest, the sister, she is the youngest among my family. She also began to attend the church and accept Jesus, and met a quite healthy and strong guy, and married with him, and she lived together, and she is very close with me. These days they opened the Taekwondo the academy in Songpa area, and she became a Christian. And there were many things in my life, and when my first wife Maria was treated medically to get a chemotherapy, my mom at a village, she took care of Moses for about 6 months or so when Maria was treated. And then several months later, she came to Seoul. She moved to Seoul. And from then on, I don't know exactly when she began to attend the church, but she attended the church. I didn't say anything about her, but she attended the church, and she is now attending church, and many she prays a lot, even though when there is a problem. But anyway, she believes in Jesus. And my father, who did not live with us and wandered around the other part, and he finished his job. He had a problem in his job position, and he had to quit his job. So he met a lady and lived together with her in Buan area. And it was not the end of this life was not good. So he got out of the house and came to Seoul. And in Seoul, I think he lost everything with this lady's deception kind of things. He told me about that he was deceived by her. I don't know why, but anyway, he lost all the money he had. And when he came to Seoul, he first came to my mom, to my mother, but he couldn't live together with my mom, even though my mom didn't say anything, just live here. And he lived in a Cheongnam-ni. It's a shelter. It's a shelter for homeless people. and I met several times nearby Cheongnam Station. And I heard some kind of information from him about me. And the last thing I did was I brought him a porridge. It's a patjuk, but it was my last time. The patjuk was made by the youngest sister, so I brought it to him. But after several weeks, 2 or 3 weeks later, I heard that she died. He died. Anyway, among siblings, there is a competition. There is no choice to escape from this competition. So you need to adjust in those situations. When you need resources, you will quarrel or fight for food or for delicious food or for money. And because when you live in a community, in a family, there is all kinds of differences, and desires are different, and habits also different, especially the habit of using toilet different. All kinds of things are a source of conflict, but you need to control. When you grow up, you can control. If you control, then it means that you are growing. And perhaps the first person, Joy, went to Columbus to study there, so she is not at home, and she feels independency from mother or family, the siblings, conflicts. And first, it is usually the process of independency. So I think it's natural. But Moses, I hope you to be patient. You live together with mom and your younger brother. It is not easy, but you can learn many things from them, or you can learn many things in living together. So, and Sam, I know you have your own idea how to do after finishing high school, but anyway, live harmoniously and in order in a family. Siblings, someday 5 years later or 10 years later, you will memorize your past with smile. There might be distorted memories, but anyway, you will remind your past. So I hope you to have good memories, to try to make good memories present in today, every day. That would be a good way of living. And before finishing, I want to say that there was one brother. He met Jesus first. His name was Andrew. And when he met Jesus, I think he was grown up, because he did invite his brother Simon Peter, to Jesus. It means that they had a good relationship. And the Peter and Andrew became Jesus' disciples. It is a beautiful story among siblings, among brothers. So I hope you three, Moses, Joy, and Sam, to have a good memories, and you can share many good things one another. And someday when you are old, when you become a seniors or even retired from jobs, then you will be able to memorize your past as good. It will be happy to you. Okay, that's it for today. I love you guys. I love you all, and also your descendants also, if they might watch this video. And see you next time. Bye.